All right, oftentimes I hear people talk about, reselling and it being a side hustle, your side hustle, your side hustle. Well, what I've got to say about that is it's only your side hustle because you haven't made it your main hustle, okay? I don't resell part-time. I don't resell for it to be my side hustle, okay? I make a lot of money. We have a 7-figure plus per year business right here from reselling. From what most folks think is a side hustle, we do full-time every single day, 365 days a year. Now, am I working every single day? No. Was I when I first started? Yes. Now, at first, when I first went into this business and I first started reselling, it was my side hustle. I did have to transition from working full-time over into working, full-time with reselling as well. But that's not the case anymore, okay? And if you're stuck at an everyday job or even a job that you hate, because there's so many of you out there that are just doing what you know how to do. You haven't stepped out of your comfort zone and gone to do something that you're unfamiliar with, but maybe you have a passion for doing. As for me, I have a passion for reselling. I have a passion for owning a business. I have a passion for leading. Okay, Bonnie does as well, my wife. And this is something that we've done for the last 4 to 5 years, is own a business and lead and grow within that business as well. And also set the example for our clients where they can emulate us and follow us as well. That's my passion. So I follow what I wanted to do. And at first, it could have seemed like a side hustle because I was making side hustle money. But the farther I went along into it, the more main hustle type money that I made. Now, there's a couple of questions that you have to ask yourself in this process. Okay, what are you motivated by? If you're just doing this as a side hustle, and you're like, man, I wish I could do this full time. I wish I could stop working this job that I want to work, or that I don't want to work. I wish I could stay at home with my kids and sell online, or I wish I could own my own retail store like we have right back here. Then you need to get some priorities straight. And you need to start figuring out, but what is it that you want to do versus what you're doing right now? Because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. That's the old saying, right? Okay, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So if you don't change anything up, especially if life is not working for you, then you're going to keep going down the same path. And it's a vicious cycle, folks. It's a vicious cycle. When I was 22 and 23 and 24, I didn't think that I could talk about these things. But these things are passionate to me because at 28, going on 29 here in less than a month, I've lived a little bit. I'm almost done with my 20s and into my 30s. I don't have all the knowledge and experience in the world, but I do have enough when it comes to what I do in my industry, which is reselling online and offline. We have an offline retail store that we're expanding now, but we have multiple online retail stores, and we've helped over 2,500 clients do the same thing online. Okay, what are you motivated by? Okay, what motivates you and what drives you in life? Is it working for somebody else? Because if it is, that's great. What I want you to understand is you have to go find and do what you're happy doing. But if I'm talking to you, those of you that are not happy with what you're doing, that are not motivated to get up out of bed in the mornings, that are not happy to work for the employer that you work for, that are not happy to make the money that you're making right now, you're not happy with the situation that you're living in, you need to ask yourself these questions. What are you motivated by? If you're motivated by staying home with your kids, then you need to start working for things and working towards things in life that will allow you to stay home with your kids. If you want to travel more, some people don't want to stay home. I want to travel more and be able to travel and go here and go do these things and go do that. I get to travel now, but I also like staying home with my kids. So I like being able to bounce back and forth in between both of those things. Staying at home with my family, my wife, my kids, but also being able to travel as I like. Okay, I had to start working towards that in my life. So what was I motivated by? My family motivated me. I'm also motivated by money. Not because I'm greedy. I've taken the same amount of money home for the last 2 years now. Every single month. Me and Bonnie take the same amount of money home every single month because it's enough to live on, plus add more into our bank account by not taking too much away from the company. Okay, so it's not that I'm motivated by money for greediness. I'm motivated by money so my business can build, so I can provide jobs, so I can have staff members come in here and do the things that they need to do to get my clients taken care of. So the customers around here can come purchase right here. We've built out an awesome retail store. We've got racks in there where we can hold more inventory. I'm able, because of money, to come in here and put presentations and training together like this so I can teach you. Okay? Money to me isn't so I can go buy a Ferrari. I've still got a Ford F-150. $1 million+ business, Ford F-150. King Ranch, nice truck, but I'm not looking for a Ferrari. I'm not looking for a Lamborghini. I'm looking to invest my money back into my business. I'm motivated by making sure I have financial stability in a company. Okay, I'm motivated by making sure that I have clients that are taken care of. I'm motivated by making sure that I have staff members that take care of my clients when I'm not around. And staff members that take care of the business when I'm not around. You've got to ask yourself, what are you motivated by? 2, what are your financial goals? Okay, if you're barely getting by, paycheck to paycheck every month, why are you sitting there and letting life slap you around like that? You don't have to live like that. Okay, I've got people in my company that got tired of having to deal with the same type of paycheck every month and changed that. They came to us and said, how can I start making more money? Well, you can do X, Y, and Z. And they started making more money. Same thing with us online. We got tired of making X amount per month on Amazon. So what do? We crank it up a notch. We go twist this and tweak that. Okay, there's so many ways to make more money. If your financial goals are to make more money than you're making now, if you're making $3,000 or $4,000 a month and you want to make $5,000 or $8,000 a month, you need to turn it up a little bit. You're going to have to do a little bit more work. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to go find something that's going to allow you to make the money that you want. Trust me, there is. You could take $20,000 a month out of this economy, and the economy won't even blink an eye, wouldn't even feel that $20,000 a month. Okay? You can make as much money as you want. You just got to go out there and do it. So what are your financial goals? Are you happy with where you're at now? Would you be willing to make less money to do something that you like? That's another way to think about it. Okay? Not everybody wants to make a lot of money. Some people want to have a lot of their time back. So if they can make less money, have less bills, and then have all their time, then that's another way to look at it. Okay? So we're talking about, though, taking your side hustle and making it your main hustle. Okay? How could you do that? And here's some ways to look at that. Okay? Number 3 right here. What amount of time do you want to buy back? As for me, I didn't want to give 40 hours a week or 45 hours a week or 50 hours a week to another employer. I would instead rather work 80 hours a week on my business. That way, when I worked on my business, if I wanted to work very, very hard, 15 to 18 hours a day, so I could take the next day off, I can. Okay, if my kids have something going on at 3 p.m., where usually you'd have to work all the way through 5 p.m., I can take off that time and go be with my kids at their Christmas program or their Thanksgiving program or a program they have at school or at church. Okay, if they are sick and I can't afford, some people, I can't afford to take that time off. My kids better not be sick. Well, if our kids are sick, I'm going to stay home with them. I'm able, because I turned my side hustle into a main hustle, I can take all the time off that I need to be with my kids if they were sick. Okay? I could take all the time off I needed to take care of Bonnie if she were sick, and vice versa. She could take off time to be with me when I was sick. What happens if you get sick? Have you worked enough and have you built a strong enough business to where if you get sick for 4 to 6 days or a week or 2 weeks or a month or something drastic happens to you that you can be taken care of without losing your job? Okay? Same thing happened to me last year. Last year around this time, I got sick on Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving in 2018. Wound up being in the hospital for like 4 to 5 days. Wasn't able to go into work or do anything, and it worried me. I actually thought I had colon cancer. Okay? Thankfully, I had my business prepared well enough at that time, and I still didn't have it prepared the way I wanted to, but it was prepared enough that even though I was gone for 4 days, I had staff members taking care of everything. I had salesmen in here doing sales for me. I had my businesses on Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, our retail stores. They were going full blown at that time. It was fourth quarter. It was doing great. Okay, we had Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up. But because I was sick and not able to be there, the company was still able to run because I made sure to put these things in place. I didn't think of my business as a side hustle, and I wasn't depending on anybody else to make money. I made all the money, made the decisions, and then put together the business that made me money even when I was sick and in the hospital. You should be doing the same thing. If you're not, you've got to take back control of your life. All right? Are you happy where you are currently in life? Okay? Where are you at in life? Okay? Are you in a good place? Are you depressed? If you're depressed, why are you depressed? What are the things that are making you depressed? I went through the same thing. Last 2 years, okay, I was in a dark space in my mind. I was in a spot that I didn't want to be in. It was because I was surrounded by people, by groups, by influences that I didn't want to be surrounded by. I had to get back to the essence of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do in business. Okay? I wasn't happy where I was in life, so I switched directions and started walking a different path. It can happen just like that. You can change things overnight if you allow yourself to. And that's really the only thing you have to do is give yourself permission to change. If you don't, you'll always do what you've always done. You'll always get what you've always got unless you change. Okay, so are you happy where you are currently in life? If you are, great. You're not the person I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people out there that are not happy where they're at. Okay? Are you happy with the direction of your life? Okay, so you may be happy where you're at, but you may look long term and say like, man, like, I'm content with where I'm at right now, but in 5 years I don't really want to be right here. You know, in 7 or 10 years I don't really want to be right here. Okay, in 7 to 10 years I don't see myself doing this. Okay, I see myself owning a giant company. I don't see myself in this building. I see myself owning the building, not renting out of the building. I don't see myself having a retail store right inside of here. I see myself having the whole warehouse as a retail store and having to have a whole other warehouse as a distribution center. Okay, so I look at myself and my business and the people that are around me and I say, you know what, I'm happy with where I'm at right now. But in the future, when I grow, I do want things to look differently than they do now. So what do I have to do? I have to start focusing on what it's going to look like. If I was to go that direction, what would be required for me to get there? That's how I'm going to get where I want to be. Okay? And then what is your purpose in life? Or what's your life's purpose? As for me, I realized that I didn't like working all the time. Okay? And I used to think that I did. When I first started this and turned it from a side hustle into a main hustle, I was working all the time. That was required during that season. You see, we go through seasons. My coach, Justin Blevins, is talking to me about that right now. And he's taught me about seasons for the last 2 years. And even one of my coaches, Christopher John Stubbs, talks about the seasons in our life. Okay, some seasons are going to be hard. Some are going to be extremely easy. Some are going to be not painful. Some are going to be extremely painful. Every season in your life is going to require something a little bit different. The last 4 years, the seasons in my life required a lot of work, a lot of hammering, a lot of grinding away. And I built something that I really like, and that I can really get behind and just take a look at and be like, hey, this is really nice. Okay, but I also realize that there's other things that I want to accomplish that are going to take grinding out again, maybe at a different level, maybe at a different pace, maybe for something totally different than what I'm doing now, but they still require the work. I still have to put in the work if I'm going to get what I want. Okay, I realize that I love doing search and rescue. I love playing video games. Like, one of my dreams is to make some money streaming video games eventually. Okay, and some of you are like, man, Ryan, you don't have the time to do that. You're right. I don't have the time right now because I'm focused on this, but I'm building this in such a manner to where I can build a business and build a company out over the span of 5 to 7 to 10 years to where I can step back and play some video games, get really good, which, if you haven't seen it, check out on Twitch, Retail Ryan. Okay, I'm putting my video games out there. I stream them. I play at night or on the weekends, and I'm actually pretty good. If you want to check me out on Call of Duty, I'm just saying, come at me, bro. So, I play games, okay? That's one of my passions. I do search and rescue, hurricane rescues, tornadoes, flooding. That's something that I have a passion about, and I'm going to go in that direction as well, all right? So, eventually, though, I don't want to even have search and rescue as a side hustle because that's basically what it is. I don't make any money off of it, but I only do it every once in a while. I would love to do it mainly, eventually. So what do I have to do? I have to start doing things in life that are the same and line up parallel with doing search and rescue all the time, okay? If I want to get there, that's what it's going to take. And if I don't do what's required, I'm never going to get there, right? Same thing with you. If you're happy where you're at, keep doing what you're doing. I'm happy for you. If you're not happy where you're at, start asking yourself these questions and then start figuring out those answers and going towards it, all right? Y'all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.